good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the 49ers. Let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are indeed at the beautiful state-of-the-art U.S. Bet Team matchup for you here between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Guyton alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come in off the very rare tie a game ago.
And it'll be interesting to see what their mindset is going into this game. Sometimes that can be a deflator, and sometimes that can just really make you mad and more determined the next time out.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. On second down, Bridgewater again. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had to read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I believe I understand where the offense was going there. They just hit a big pass play, thought they could fool him with a run, but maybe they overthought it a little bit. Just hit a nice pass, come back with another one, keep the momentum going.
And they'll go on the ground, trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
On third down, Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to fourth. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down to bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, this is taken at the 23. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. First carry here for Todd Gurley. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. But good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you got to count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver. That agile. He's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got time. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up fourth. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
He's got time in the pocket. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Let's go.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second down now after the pass completion. A second down throw for Bridgewater. It's complete to Diggs. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
And next to what? You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the the toss. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Here's Bridgewater, and he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now fourth down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll look to throw here. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And it's incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley, and that'll bring up second down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now it's Gurley fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what...
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Let's go!
Gurley again here on first down. Wow, incredible.
Miss.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 there. And that leads to a San Francisco first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
And the tackle's made there by one of the secondary members. And I can guarantee you, having played that spot in the huddle right now or on the field, they're urging for a little bit more support from the guys up front. I actually remember one game where I hopped over a defensive lineman to make a tackle downfield and realized he was 10 yards downfield. That's not good. That's being driven off the line of scrimmage, and you can't have that if you're going to win a game on defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Todd Gurley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. And he was excellent on that drive.
And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
One of the things that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
Second down, Bridgewater. Eluding, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
The play clock's running down. Third and long for Bridgewater. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
So it's third and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they bring in an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Having an effective short passing game, one of their main concern coming into this one, right there, able to hit the D with a quick strike and a first down.
And you're able to put that into your game plan when you see that there's space to throw the football. A lot of defenses don't want to play press coverage or tight coverage. They'll play backed off, and sometimes those cornerbacks will bail out really fast and really get deep, and that allows you to throw the quick game underneath, and they took advantage of it. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And this one is right down the middle. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Well, he just threw an interception last drive. Nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? 'Cause that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
The offense lining up 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye.
Tiger! Let's go! Wide Eddie!
A first down throw for Bridgewater. Flush to his right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
To throw, Bridgewater. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And this offensive unit, they have to face a 3rd down and 12 now. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. William Golston in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
This is taken at the 15. A beautiful fake. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And the Vikings defense ready to head back out there now. And a really nice job last time. Offense had great field position, but they were able to hold them just 4 plays, and they had to hit the field goal.
We saw the benefits of practice there from the defense, though, didn't we? Because most teams, when they got that type of field position after a turnover or a big kick return, whatever that is,
can't get away, and he's taken down. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Gurley. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. third down. He'll drop to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. One receiver left, 3 to the right. First down, Bridgewater. Flushed out right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now they're in the hurry-up. A second down throw for Bridgewater. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
First down.
Bridgewater now from the 50. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his...
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. So we have come to halftime. What's that? Now? Oh, we're back. Okay, well, something happened to Larry in the halftime show. I guess we're ready for the 3rd quarter. Let's go. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The third quarter starts with a run by Gurley. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Again, they run with Gurley. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Touchdown, 49ers! Todd Gurley, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. We get a look now at the 49ers defense as they get into position. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They come out here in the eye. And they'll run it here. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
Let's go. Play 90.
On 3rd and 1, here's Bridgewater. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll give it to him right up the gut, and it keeps the drive moving.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Bridgewater now. And he's got his man on the out route. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays. Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Bridgewater now on second down. This will be caught at about the 5. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Let's go. Way 90. Way 90.
Now they'll run it on the toss. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. They're losing here in the third quarter, maybe trying to get the ball outside, bust a big play. Obviously didn't work there.
Yeah, and while it didn't work, I really can't fault them for trying it. You and I have talked to the offensive coordinator, and we knew that was the place they wanted to try and go. And sometimes you just have to stick with it because 2-yard gains turn into 20-yard gains as the game goes along.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Look at the big man rumble. A great read, and it's picked off. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down. Not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the...
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there for a milestone sack as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132.5.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. First down throw for Bridgewater. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's third down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And that will be incomplete as well.
Well, that was pretty nice to watch if you like a defense's perspective, because they understood where the first down line was as much as the offensive guys did. Did not give up any more ground, and when the ball was thrown, reacted really well and swatted.
Now 49er pressure, and they get it. It's blocked. Touchdown, 49ers.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
The sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Bridgewater to throw it. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Holding offense.
Second down, Bridgewater. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Hey, we got three. Three down.
Third and long for Bridgewater. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Now a play fake here. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right.
Let's go.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. Bridgewater from the gun on third down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up fourth.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
This will be fielded at the 17. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now the 49er offense ready to go and getting back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Then they got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Todd Gurley, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the 49ers, they're just...
Our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
No, she's
on, like, the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some... points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Let's go. Blue 58.
Throwing again. Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
180. 2
Play action now. Bridgewater. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Let's go. 180.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Bridgewater. And this will be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Get ready. 190. 190.
On second down, Bridgewater again. And he whips that one incomplete there. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10.
180.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
Let's go. Blue 58.
Desperation time. 4th down, Bridgewater. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That one good for 12 yards. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart, yeah, even for a talented receiver. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me...
And Gurley fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
And that's the relief that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They only get 2 there. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They run. It's Gurley. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Let's go.
They try right side here. Gurley. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And this one is right through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. The scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for the 49ers, the win is number 9 for them on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden.